In his hand, he had. Oh, sorry.
7 minutes in his hand. All right. This is a short one. Sometimes I'm right, and I can't be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song. The Padre, the painter, the puncher, and then makes no difference what group I'm in. I'm the ramble against people. Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love some Sly.
Everybody loves some Sly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard that song in forever either.
You don't hear it that often. Like the last time I think anyone made a conscious effort, it was in a movie with Ryan Reynolds in the very beginning, to where he was having like a shitty day. I can't remember the name of the film. And he goes, "I think I finally found the song to start my morning off," and that's what he plays. And it's like him walking through. Like,
it almost got killed in the late '90s because Toyota used it for their ads.
That's what it was. Yes.
And it really was. And I love that song. I was like, I think they're playing it too much. So, welcome, Chris. Good to see you.
Hello, everybody.
Just missed the song, Chris. So we waited.
Dude, it was the best one yet, man.
It actually was. I didn't even say that.
That's right.
Sorry, I just got home from work.
That's all right.
You know what sucks is like I my flight to San Francisco and back, or one of my flights recently, maybe it was to Chicago. I listened to both of the episodes I missed over the last few weeks, and I actually wrote like a little bit of notes of like, oh man, that's good. I should bring that up. I should talk about that. And I looked at my notes about an hour ago, and I was like, what the fuck is all this? Like, I have no clue like what the context of any of it is.
This is not
That's
Penny's
the most
boat.
proper review of this podcast.
Yeah.
What the fuck did I just listen to?
Yeah.
Can I get my 2 hours of my life?
What were we
And
just talking
no,
about?
the answer is no. You may not.
The only thing I remember at all was like I remember Jack talking about BJ's gas station on one of the episodes. He's like, yeah,
okay.
and then he's like, I was so disappointed when I walked in and didn't, it wasn't what I
BJ's
thought it was
gas
going to
station.
be. And then I went, and I immediately thought, I was like, God, I wish I could be there just to say like, well, you should go into a come and go and see what, you're like,
Right?
Like,
The first time I saw one, I'm like, that shit ain't real.
Right.
I felt that way about BJ's.
Uh-huh.
Well, of course, I got married and I realized, okay, it doesn't exist.
We don't have anything cool like that here. We have speedways.
It's an old married man joke.
When the S is burned out, it just says Speedway, and that's the closest we get. So, I think you texted us at some point though about
the hot dog.
oh no, I was
The
thinking
hot
about the fact that you texted us. That's my China bitch.
Oh yeah, that was that's right.
Oh yeah.
That was well, it was the perfect response to whatever you guys said. I was like, because that was.
I just said, "What's the glass?" I think I just said, "What's the glass?" And he got all defensive. That's my fine China, bitch.
Well, he already had 2 drinks.
It was really fucking funny.
Thank
I
you.
was like
Thank you.
going, "Wow,
It was
that was hostile."
Thank you.
What's up with the old glass? Like, it's my fine China, bitch.
No, it was more
Nick knew
angry
the
than
score.
that.
Nick knew that I was 2 beers in, and you just cannot trust what I'm going to say after.
It was
after the
angrier
second
than
one.
that.
Oh, come on.
I
Was it?
I was like, I'm glad we're like, I was like, Jesus, he's like Mike Tyson. I gotta get the hell out.
Is
of here.
that why you're incognito tonight?
No, I just grew this for the show.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
He's in character.
Actually, I bought a bunch of these and then I never used them. I put them on our grandkids.
He's the
And
condemned.
they fell out of my closet. I said, "Oh, let me wear them." They itch really bad though. I should have worn them for trick or treat. I didn't dress up.
Matt K says they're phasing out the name. Is that a reference to Come and Go?
Oh yeah, it could be anything.
Or BJ's.
No, BJ's is like that's
Maybe
like a
Martin
local-
Scorsese.
It's
now.
a local
Okay.
business here.
So
I-
come
my-
and
my
go
friend-
is
My friend's a buyer for BJ's actually.
Is he?
She.
I love how we actually, Chris asked him like 3 questions. Is that referring to Come and Go or BJ's or what? I just write yes.
Right.
Like, oh yes,
Yes,
that
thanks.
helped us understand. Yes.
Yeah, BJ's is a local company to this area. So the corporate office is like not that far from here at all.
Where do you work? For BJ's. What's
Wait,
it?
are
What's
you
it stand
growing
for?
more hair now? What?
I'm trying to be Martin Scorsese.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you're getting kind of
You-
filled
I
now.
think
Yeah,
I think
got
you're getting leaning more towards Groucho Marx once you put on the second one here. So, wait, I like. Where is it going? This is why you have to join us live for the show.
it.
So
You just need your white hair now. And, yeah.
That's the
Glasses.
funniest word I've ever heard.
well, you can borrow my glasses.
Well,
Well,
at the opera.
Has everyone heard of Groucho Marx?
Yes.
Yeah.
And his
I've-
show,
Yeah,
remember
and
he
I
had the
watched-
duck come down, and that was the word of the.
Mhm.
Okay, maybe I'm dating myself. So
We all
who else
said
would
yes.
date this guy?
No, I was a
You
total
do
dork.
look
I
like a
watched
completely
Turner
different
classic
person.
movies.
I will say
and
that, Jack.
growing up.
Yeah.
Better. I look like
yeah.
someone from New York.
No, you look like who's going to make the
That's
donuts
racist.
Huh?
Oh
As
yeah,
New Yorkers-
dude. You're the
As
Dunkin'
New Yorkers,
Donuts
I would
guy.
not stand
Yeah.
for that.
Which guy?
guy. You look
The
like
Dunkin' Donuts
You look
guy.
like the Dunkin' Donuts guy from the
Dunkin'
80s.
Donuts guy.
Yeah.
Time to make the donuts.
Time to make the donuts. Yeah.
I don't think I know that commercial.
What?
Oh, you're
What
gonna,
the
you're gonna
fuck?
find it in just
I
a
don't
second.
know. I don't know.
We just lost Jack. We just lost Jack. Of all the cultural things that he's chastised us for, I mean, we're at episode 274, and I know that there's even
Right.
more that I've put up with him saying, you haven't seen this and this.
Exactly.
He doesn't remember the Dunkin' Donuts guy? Time to make the donuts.
I
Welcome
don't remember
back,
my
Jack.
name half the time. What are you talking about?
Okay, Jay.
But yeah, you remember episode 76 from I Love Lucy and then give us shit
too
for not
weird.
knowing it.
I was
Thank
not a
you.
huge I Love Lucy's fan. I watched it, but I just
Hmm,
I couldn't tell you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it, but is it my favorite sitcom of all time? No.
Shit, I forgot. What was it? I actually read that the other day. Maybe I brought that up to you guys. It was there's only 3 shows in the history of television to end their final season at number 1 in the ratings. And I Love Lucy was one of them.
Seinfeld?
It's not Seinfeld. No, actually, maybe
Really?
it is
Has to
Seinfeld.
be
You're right.
Seinfeld.
Because
Yeah,
he
it's
was
Seinfeld.
one
What
of
about
the
what about
ones.
Cheers?
It's not Cheers. No, it's I Love Lucy. Cheers is the only one in modern times, and then the other one was from the 60s.
I
It's-
love how 60s is no longer considered modern time.
Well, and then and
Look
the
at
thing-
me. I'm from the '60s.
what's funny about the third one? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, I
Funny,
remember that guy now.
yeah. What's funny about the third one is it never was number 1 until its final season, and its last 3 seasons are considered to be the worst of the series. And it's one of Jack's favorite shows.
MASH.
MASH?
Nope, it's from the 60s, Jack.
Oh, '60s.
Oh.
One of my favorite shows.
Yeah. You talk about it all the time.
From the '60s.
Gunsmoke?
Nope.
Popular show from the '60s.
Doctor.
It was never number 1 until the last year.
To the last season. Yeah.
Comedy.
It's a comedy. Sort of.
Leave It
the
to Beaver.
60s.
No.
No, Leave It to Beaver was never very popular.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Sandy Griffith Show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I talk about that all the time.
You do talk about it all the time.
Andy Griffith Show. I talk about
Yeah.
all the
You
time.
talk about how much you hate that, Opie can't throw a
Oh,
rock.
well, he can't throw the rocks. He's a
That's
little-
right. He does do that. Mhm.
What show was that he's on recently where I was watching where
This is our fearless leader, everyone. This is Jack in all of his glory.
I should work on my hair. What do you think?
I don't know.
Hair?
Well, maybe.
I'm still sharing my window. Whoops. Fred the Baker.
Fred the Baker.
Fred the Baker. He's
I
a
don't know.
candlestick
We get a
maker.
little peek into what Chris does when we're podcasting.
This is
That's just Wikipedia.
this is my wrestling
Nothing
character.
special.
This is my wrestling character.
Yeah, what's your wrestling character's name?
This is dumbass. I don't know.
That's fitting.
Because you didn't notice I have Ace eat shit.
I noticed.
Oh, okay. So I
does.
think
He does.
what we're about to go into
Let's-
here
Dive head
is
first.
is something that we all watched. I assume. I don't know where Nick is on the whole. If he's finished,
All right, this is itchy.
but
You guys all finished season 2, yeah?
I did.
Nick, you
Yep.
caught up as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
I took. It's funny because I was enjoying it so much. I slowed it down. I started just doing like an episode a day.
Second season,
really?
I did that a little bit because I knew.
At first, I was kind of binge watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
So I came onto the show 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I and maybe longer than
And
that,
you
ranting and
were-
raving
you-
about this show.
Mhm.
About
How
much
you
I
just
got into.
you just started. You didn't watch it from the beginning.
You
No, I
kept
didn't.
pushing your
No,
agenda.
I
Remember-
watched it. I started like a month ago.
Yeah, you remember like 2 months ago, he
months
said,
ago.
I'm really into a wrestling phase right now. I'm rediscovering wrestling. I'm loving it. And then probably 2 to 3 weeks later after that, he said, guys, I found this show called Heels that is like wrestling.
It's
And
awesome.
I wrote
None
that
of you
down, but I
listened.
couldn't read it.
None of you listened.
I wrote that down when Chris said it, but I couldn't read
So
it.
yeah, so I watched the show about a month and a half ago. I watched it all the way through season 1 and season 2, and I found it to be like a damn near perfect television show. It literally has everything that you want. It's got great writing, in my opinion. The
Mhm.
acting is so well done. You really you quickly grow an affection for the characters, and you care about what's going on in the characters' lives. And it's a really cool story about an independent wrestling league. And
I don't like when mom and dad fight, though.
yeah. So I recommended that these gentlemen here watch it, and now I'm curious to hear what their thoughts are.
If I can call that one, Jack, I think I even like texted like Chris about it.
I don't like when mom and dad fight, and it's like, they got a kid there too. It's like, come on, you love each other. Come back together. Come on, Jack. She's kind of hot. Come on, bring her back. Bring her back.
So, what did you guys think?
I'll go last.
Okay. So we want Mr. Negative going last.
Yeah,
You want to go first, Matt, or you want me to go first?
No, go ahead. I texted Chris like basically a bunch of like theories that I had because I finished and
There are theories. There are theories.
So I'll share, but I'll let you go because you're.
Why don't we just kind of
that sounds good.
I'm going into this Al Habrowski, Randy, the Mad Hungarian. Anyway, what I went into it going, okay, I'm going to watch this because Chris likes it and it's really pushing it, and
Sure.
Matt kind of liked it. I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'll put Longmire on hold. Not Longmire, Longmire on hold. I keep calling it Longmire. Longmire on hold, which I'm really enjoying, but there's just a lot of murders in Wyoming. I just don't realize the crime rate can be that high. But anyway, I started watching. I go, I'm not big on wrestling. I'm kind of like this, but I watched the first episode. I'm thinking, God, Ace is a dick. Because the first episode, he just chairs into the cashier, and I go, God, he's just a dick. And then when she says something, and I'm like, what an asshole. But then I think I texted. I was like going, at the end, you're like, okay, she crossed the line. So I understand why he did it, because we find out what happened to the dad. I mean, we don't see it.
Right.
I think it's the second episode we see it. I'm like going, God. And this guy was in Jag, the star of Jag, Harm, and it was just he was an all-American guy. It's hard seeing him in a character where he's such a dick.
Who, Ace?
No, not Ace.
The father.
The father.
Oh, the father.
The Ace of Spades. Is it the Ace
King
of Spades?
Spades.
King Spade.
Mhm.
And he's such a dick to, obviously shows affection for one. The mother's that shit crazy. I mean, what makes this show work is the flashbacks.
Yeah.
The flashbacks really make the show work because you start understanding the characters. You understand why Ace is the way he is.
Mhm.
And you understand why Jack is the way he is. And just anyway,
we're a sucker. We're a sucker for a good flashback story.
But but they're appropriately used.
They are
right.
Flashbacks, and they're not like a flashback just to do it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not like,
definitely
hey,
done the right
how
way,
did
in
he
my
get
opinion.
this tattoo? It's like,
Yeah.
and it's poignant.
There's no Biling doesn't show up in any episode.
in fact, almost all of the flashbacks pull some kind of a punch where you're just like, fuck, like even the mom, you're just like,
Yep.
you're like,
Where
and
she
it-
whips young Jack and he has to have
it-
cream put on him because
it-
she
but-
beat him so badly.
But when you're introduced to her, you do not see that side,
no,
right?
no.
So there's onion layers to the show, which I think is enjoyable as a bingeable show, as a show to rewatch. And I was call me a skeptic because I'm probably the one that's like, I'm just not really into wrestling. It's just not my thing.
No.
That said,
Mud wrestling, I kind of always like.
That said, I take Chris's advice because we do this show together, and I respect him, and I'm like, and I also like the actor from Arrow. Like
Stephen
I'm
Amell.
just like, okay.
He tore into Dean Spano, so I appreciate him.
He's going to be in the new Suits spinoff.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here are my like post-watch
Notes.
theories that I had. This is what I basically texted Chris at some point because I was just like, because as you get to the end of season 2, you're like left kind of wanting something. It's not a nice bow. There are some character arcs that occur, and you can see there's endings and new beginnings about to happen, essentially. And I'm trying not to spoil anybody. Skip ahead if you don't want spoilers on. We're obviously getting knee deep in the wrestling pit here.
Yep.
Willie, where the fuck does she come up with all of this money? If you see her at her house, Willie, the manager of the place, like her house is like really nice. Like she's like on an estate.
It's the husband.
Yeah.
Okay, but then the husband and then the daughter just like she treats the daughter like shit. Why is the husband even putting up with this?
Is the daughter's? Is that Jack's daughter?
No,
you sure?
No, that's not. No, like the daughter, Willie.
Willie's daughter, I think, is Jack's daughter.
Jack Spade.
Jack Spade.
From who?
Oh,
from Jack.
No, it would be Wild Bill. If anything, it's Wild Bill.
Wild Bill. That would make sense.
I think I'm leaning.
Jack and Willie were never. Well, she was his valet, but
he's a valet, and she never.
Maybe
she's very loyal to the whole thing.
Do you mean King Jack, or you mean
no? Because Willie was about to betray. Willie was about to betray.
Not Jack. What's the dad's name?
You're thinking King Spade.
King Spade.
Yeah, okay.
King Spade. Not Jack. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
King Spade.
Okay,
maybe.
Well, there's definitely
too many spades.
There's definitely something with the daughter of Willie and the husband and that whole situation, because we just kept seeing these little glimpses.
Weird
and I'm
dynamic.
Like, yeah, it's a weird dynamic.
This is Willie.
Especially the way she treats Crystal, because she treats Crystal like a daughter, basically, and she has a daughter that she treats like shit. It's so weird.
Yeah.
All right. So
I think she got pregnant by the King of Spades.
Yeah. I think Willie looks at Crystal though like her, like she's trying to prevent her from making the same mistake she did. Whereas when she sees her daughter, all she thinks about is the mistakes she did make.
Right.
So because from that point on, she couldn't. Once she got pregnant, she couldn't.
This makes
she couldn't go on with her career.
No, I mean, like I like these theories because there's definitely something there where there's smoke.
I thought for sure we were going to hear when they were opening up all those boxes that the King of Spades was Willie's daughter's father.
Well, that could be something still to be revealed.
Yeah.
I loved Ace's hero journey, basically. Except I did like the nursing home bits, except for the shitty one.
Yeah. God, that was so gross. But that was
he reacted perfectly to that though.
But that was growth. The next day, he said, "Hey, are you okay?" He old Ace would have picked him up and power drove him into the floor. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, why do you admit that to your brother, though? I mean, come on.
Well, because it's the new Ace.
I know.
He just wants to
he's awesome. There is a transformation there, and it pays off everything that you see.
He needs to start working out though.
That part pays off everything that Jack worked for in season 1. Like the story arcs, like what Jack was doing to Ace. We see that transformation. Anyway, I'm not sure where they go with Jack's character. Again, this is like some big spoiler stuff. So if you don't want to know about heels, please skip ahead.
I mean,
people are going, I need to see that shit episode.
If you know the classic 90s and even 80s storylines of wrestling, you know exactly where it's going. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I got it. Because like they're borrowing so much from those old classic stories. Ace especially. That's Sting. That's 100% Sting's character.
From the police.
No, Sting is in the WCW.
WCW.
So Sting is one of those classic wrestlers, just like Hulk Hogan and everything else. But he always wore bright yellow. He had the not flames, but he had like face paint down his face, and he was always wore yellow and red, and he was very like charismatic and all this. And then when you get to the late '90s wrestling, when the NWO versus WCW, all of a sudden you have this black character with white face paint come in on a zip line and hitting people with a baseball bat, and he's this mysterious dark character.
So instead of being the face, he becomes a heel.
He's not really he's like a Dark Knight is really what it is.
Okay.
It's more like I am like the referee or the justice of wrestling. When I see evil, I take care of it. You know?
Yeah, and that Sting character was definitely based off of Brandon Lee's Crow as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, when I was watching this, it kind of made me upset that I never got into wrestling. Because I kind of got into the stories, the thing, even though it's fake. I'm wearing a wrestling T-shirt right now.
Like he's stripping for everybody out there.
I bought this on WWE.com. But yeah, it's so funny because I was the same way. I never saw myself getting back into it, but I got sucked in about a year ago. It's been about a year, like right now, that I started watching it again. And then I just got into it. And the storylines, they do such a good job. And they're really doing a phenomenal job with WWE right now. And I
never got into it because I knew it was when I was a kid. I used to watch it because it was just wrestling. People beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah, they do a good job
of black and white TV.
In Heels, though, they did do at some point. There's some kind of character conversation where they talk about that. Like everyone knows it's fake, but they do it because it's a reflection of humans. And what gets you into it is that here's this character that's the underdog, and then he's going to get his up and comings, but then his fall from grace and his redemption, and it's like and that just constantly happens throughout wrestling. And you're rooting for people, you're hating from people.
I need to share this because I took a screenshot of the actual text that I sent to Chris, where I put as our podcasting Jack would say.
Am I Han Solo on fucking Hoth? Is that
no? You're the rebel. You're the rebel trooper. You're actually who.
He explained this to us a couple of years ago.
Wait, that's my mustache I just took off.
Yeah, it is.
This is all you guys want to talk about. Anyway,
it's Jack's Lobot.
As I put, as our podcasting Jack would say, nobody wants to see mom and dad fight. Basically, I texted that to Chris.
He did.
And that was
word for word,
literally what you said. Thank you. I just needed to
because let's face it, they're a hot couple, right? They love each other, and she. At first, I was blaming the wife. I was what's her name?
Stacy.
Stacy. I was going to say Sadie, but Stacy's got it going on. Stacy's mom. Anyway, I was like I go, come on, you know what he went through. Come on, he had a rough childhood. And then, everything that happened, I'm like, come on. But then I said, okay, I see her side though, too. But she just wanted to be a part of something. So I think that was smart to bring her into the fold. But I
liked the what they did with her character in season 2 more so than season 1. Season 1, it was kind of built up for the strife, and it just kind of was like, where's this? I don't know. So
and then the note that was left for Jack, and Willie finds it, and we finally find out what it is. Jack, take care of Ace.
Oh, Dad. Right, that's awful.
Oh,
I go, come on, you blew your son off the whole fucking time you were alive. You treated him. You're not athletic. You're not this. You're not that. I mean, you're just you. And I think my theory is he left it as one less slap in the face because he knew all the problems it had. I'm just going to leave this to Jack. I'm not doing that to Ace.
Right.
I want Ace to be successful in life.
So
screw Jack. He can be screwed over with this falling company.
I could see season 3 like there being some type of thing through rehabilitation there where he might be fighting some of his own father's demons. I mean, we see kind of a moment there where he's kind of definitely like visualizing this aspect of his own like kind of personal like angst is his father. So, you know, if Jack's character is to move forward, if there is a season 3, whenever that could be, maybe we see
there is going to be a season 3, right?
Well, they haven't they've done all but officially announced it. So the
seems like
problem
they're
running
teasing
into
it, but,
they're teasing it, but the problem that they're running into is everyone's shooting schedules, right? So like
this is going to piss me off if that's how it ends.
So Stephen Amell is he's filming Suits, and a couple of the people are doing other projects. The creator, though, one of the co-writers with Michael Malley, he was in a Variety interview where he said that if they get to do a season 3, they're gonna showcase the dark side of what the success in the DWL is gonna bring. And also what they want to do is they want to see if they can somehow integrate. Now, here's the interesting part, right? They could somehow work out a fucking magical deal with this because they're on Netflix now. Because starting in January, WWE is moving Monday Night Raw to Netflix.
Oh, interesting.
So
okay. Yeah,
there is
there's
some
that
interest there.
potential
there's
to
like,
almost have a crossover.
Yeah.
Like
so
or some type of synergy.
Like those wheels are turning, right? So it's like there definitely could happen. Yeah, I think that the last Monday Night Raw is either in Boston or it's the one after the one in Boston, which I think I'm going to. But yeah, then it's moving over to Netflix for the streaming service to do their live shows.
They're gonna have to do some time jump or recast the kid then, because there's just, I mean, there's you know, after a couple years that the son is not going to.
Do we need to see the kid anymore?
Right.
Yeah.
I even forget he's a character.
Right. I know.
So.
And there's already some WWE wrestlers in the show. I don't know if you guys know them or were able to pick them out of the crowd at all.
No, I assumed Stacy.
So Mankind was in it. Mankind was in it for a minute.
They should have had Stacy wearing tight jeans in season 1. I think it would have got picked up for season 3 already. I'm just saying. Not that I noticed.
CM Punk.
Yes,
I don't know you guys
I read that.
He's Ricky Rabies.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
He looked like a wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got full body tattoos. They did a lot of makeup on him.
What about the girl? Was she a wrestler?
AJ Lee is actually AJ Lee, the girl who came in, which was I forgot her name. It was like a
it starts with a D, I think, or something.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Hold on, let me look it up.
I just closed out.
Call her ibuprofen.
Jack,
What's
I think your mic is weird or something.
Oh, I know what happened. Okay.
Shit. What the fuck was her name?
Well, anyway, yeah, I agree, Matt. I think there probably will be a time jump, and this is what my theory. I mean, no, just speculation.
Yeah, I was curious.
What I bet is going to happen is you'll see that character, like you said, like in rehab, in the first few episodes or whatnot. And I think the DWL will be on its heels, no pun intended, because he's out.
Right.
And also, I think that Wild Bill's going to have a heart attack, which will then put the two people down, two main stars down.
Well, he needs to do. He's probably going to have to go to rehab himself.
El Dorado.
Yes.
And I think what's going to end up happening is they will merge the two competing scissoring.
Don't they have to? Don't they have to merge because that's if they want the streaming service?
I mean, okay. This was my other thought, and I forgot about this, but they introduced another character there, the woman exec,
right?
And they definitely showed that she was a actual physical athletic person, and I think she's gonna be like, I want to get in the ring. Like, I think that there's a potential for her to have some kind of, I don't know. Like,
I know that's set her on fire.
I know that seems like a stretch, but I think that there's enough like she has an alpha aspect to her.
Yes.
Mhm.
That I could see her wanting even Crystal to kind of give her some like or something. There's
I'd wrestle with Crystal. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, anyway, I just it was
funny.
one aspect of that character that I was like,
One of y'all was
interesting.
no, wasn't one of you two. I don't think it was Jack either. It must have been Cliff or somebody. I actually met Ace at Comic-Con. I forget what year it was because he was on Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
I was standing next to the whole cast. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
We're waiting for an elevator. They were waiting for the other elevator. When they got on, I go, oh, it's a cast of Vikings.
Yeah, because he is a tall dude. Like,
but you know what?
he's
I
really
looked
tall.
it up. I think he was like 6'4", 6'5". He's only 6'2".
Is he only 6'2"? I thought he was. I mean, maybe it's just because the rest of the actors are so much shorter. But like, I was like, damn, he's a big dude.
I think what was I going to say? Matt was on target. Was when I was going to say something. Go ahead. I got to think of it.
Well, anyway, I'll give you my kind of 2 cents on it a little bit. Like the first probably 4 episodes, I thought Cris was crazy, like because it's such a slow build in the first. 4 episodes.
Slow. It is slow.
It is.
In that I really wanted to see some freaking wrestling. I was like, what the heck? This is just a bunch of drama shit. Like, what is this? It's people with issues. I thought this was a wrestling show. And then the 5th episode, when
God forbid people have issues.
Yeah, when they finally get to the good stuff in episode 5, that's when it gelled. And then like from that point on, it's like great for the most part. But it also it's interesting in that some scenes are like Succession like level great and like just great conflict, great drama, great everything's happening. And then some scenes are like WB material. You're like, who the fuck wrote this scene? It's so cheesy. You're just like, but it is what it is.
I think that's a fair criticism for especially like the feeling or vibes that I got from the first season or the first, like, as you said, the first 4 episodes that move a little bit slower. Because as I'm introduced to some of these characters, I'm like, did I walk into a Hallmark movie? Like, I don't know why I'm trying to trust these people right now.
You're out there with the guitar singing along.
And I'm like, what? Is this real? Like, is this some kind of made up, But but that said, there's also sex, nudity,
right? It's all
and
over the
some
place.
serious violence.
I
So, fair warning if you watch this show and you haven't been spoiled or disappointed by the fact that we've been talking about wrestling for the first 30 minutes. There's also a suicide that happens at some
point.
And
they warn you ahead before the episode
warn you
starts
ahead of time.
It's going to happen. And it's funny because the way they do it, you're not thinking. I mean, you know from the first episode that he does kill himself.
Right.
But the second, when he does it, you're like going,
that's what's happening right now. Like, yeah, you don't see it. I did not see that coming.
I said, oh, he's going to shoot. I don't want to spoil anything.
But then you immediately see the trauma of who that affects.
Right.
It sets forth all of the things. It's like a domino. And I think that's where it has some Lostian DNA in the fact that it sets up some of these dominoes. And you're getting little slices of them. So if at first you don't Hallmark, keep
when
going.
they were doing the prayer and the kid was doing the prayer, I said, uh-oh. When he said something about grandpa, I said, oh, the mom's going to go off because she's religious. I knew exactly what she was going to say. I'm like going, God. And excuse my language. I go, look, bitch, shut up. That's what I wanted to say. I go, I get you're hurting, but that's a kid.
I mean,
don't do that to his. Don't do that to his grandpa.
Right. It's like divorced couples like never bash your ex-spouse in front of your child because they're half of that spouse, and they'll hate you for it.
Exactly. I was getting. So I wanted to get up and just power drive her into the ground, and I'm not a violent person. But anyway,
I think Matt is 100% right though, and it does have some lost DNA, especially with the misdirection of certain characters and motivations, and what. If you might hate them now, you might love them later, or vice versa. Right. And no more than Bill, of course, because how often in the first season do you believe that Bill was a selfish prick? And then
big dick.
Yeah, right.
Oh, but his moment though, and where it plays out is.
Well, I text the group. I said, maybe my episode 6, season 2 is probably my favorite episode because it had nothing really to do with the main cast.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was flashbacks. And then you see that he borrowed $467,000. I go, how bad a business person is the King of Spades?
For $500,000.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, how bad are you?
Yeah.
And the whole Ted Turner thing, and the whole, I liked how they were showing what era, the O.J. Simpson thing, and
Right.
there was one mistake though, because when he said, "I'm done with this," the secretary was standing next to him. In the scene where he's walking out, the secretary's already sitting down. I'm like, okay, she's not that fast.
Like there's little things I noticed were like when Ace has disappeared for a while and he comes back and he's in the little convenience store with his nephew. There's a Michelob Light neon sign up on the wall. I'm like, where the hell did you get that damn thing? They haven't made Michelob Light in like 20 years.
Right?
Just little things like that I would notice.
Well, it's pretty fair. It's a small town, and you don't.
Right, that is true. Like things, you accumulate shit, and you just leave it up.
You don't. I mean, small towns, you don't have that kind of money to keep changing things. But I did want to smack the kid when he got the crown smashed.
Oh, I know it. Yeah.
I go, what the fuck is your
But
problem,
he used
kid?
that to perfection, though. Like, it's a prop now.
And if anyone had seen Arrow, and I know you watched it, Matt, who thought it was going to be Jack, because it looked like Arrow.
Yeah,
when he came down,
that was a good misdirect.
That's good. That's going to be Jack, and then it turned out to be Ace. I'm like, going, okay,
that was
And I want to say, I sent the text. The guy that plays Big Jim, he was on one of our 30-hour podcasts for Autism Speaks.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was, and he was when he was on Justified, and he was funny, funny guy. I'm drawing a blank on the actor's name, but he was hilarious.
Davis Roberts.
Duke Davis, that's right. Duke Davis Roberts. He was hilarious. Anyway,
yeah, Big Jim.
For some reason, I thought he was going to commit suicide. I don't know why. I thought they were going to go down that road because he had to leave wrestling. He didn't really want to leave it, but anyway, I want to thank Cris for recommending his second show.
He's the classic story of the good guy gets wins type of situation.
I know, but he wasn't allowed to be in. His wife didn't want him to wrestle anymore, and
no, that's not Jim.
Big Jim.
To kind of go back. Oh, sorry.
Big Jim. He's the guy that.
Maybe I'm mixing up the
names.
You're thinking of Bobby Pinn.
You're thinking of Bobby Pinn.
Yeah, Bobby Pinn. Yeah.
It's funny.
Bobby Pinn, Big Jim.
When Bobby Pinn became, I was like, this guy has a good. Before he even became an announcer, I go, this guy has I looked it up. I said, is he an announcer or something? He has a great radio voice. So when he became the announcer, and they didn't do that in the beginning, right?
No,
they didn't. They didn't do play-by-play, right?
No,
they did. They just didn't focus on it.
Okay,
it wasn't like a thing.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, at the end when you're watching it and he can't get up, and the reason he did that was probably to prove his dad wrong, but also to impress the
lady.
The lady. And when he can't get up, and everybody's getting, and the guy with who's the guy with the beard, Gully.
Gully. And he's one of the writers. Is what Cris said?
Is he? You just don't like. You don't like him.
Writer or
he was the host of freaking MTV Guts or Nickelodeon Guts.
Well, he's been on a lot of stuff, and I was going.
He's from Boston,
so I wonder when he finds out what's going to happen when they find out he couldn't get up.
I think he'll understand. I mean, well, you'd like to think he would understand.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that's my theory, though, is like when you have Jack. When you also have Wild Bill, that's when they're going to have to merge. But I think Matt is 100% right on that as well. I think the woman will end up taking over the Duffy side, and they'll still have that conflict of interest. But to have the manager versus manager type drama, and I think we'll get that. We'll get that whole rehabilitation thing, and it'll be a classic wrestling thing to where he plays it up. At the ringside, like, look what you did to me and look what happened and all this. And then somewhere, probably the last episode of the third season, he'll get up with the chair and just start smacking people.
That final wrestling scene was so good.
It really was.
It's so intense. And when he's saying, Dad was a coward, he's not acting there. I mean, the character's acting.
Right.
But Jack is not. Jack is letting all his frustration out.
Yeah.
All the hate he had for his dad, because he tells his wife, "I hate him.
Yeah,
I hate him." And
there's also a story that I think hit the cutting room floor with the intent of expanding into next season too. But Wild Bill has a fucking heart attack in that episode.
Right, that's
I
what I'm
don't,
saying.
you know,
Yeah.
like that. He might be dead. Like, we
Well,
don't know.
I would hate to
ignore it, you know, because it's
I would hate.
tell.
I think it's just from drugs. He's so many drugs in his system. I think he needs to. I mean, I would hate to lose again. You hate his character. You hate him.
No, I love his character. I think his character's fucking awesome.
He's probably been the one character I haven't hated the
Yeah.
entire show. Because he's just him. It's just the way he is.
Because that episode you're talking about, Jack, with that flashback, you realize how good of a dude he is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and
that Willie, because you assume that he dicked Willie over.
Right.
Dicked Willie over. Anyway, he didn't.
What if Willie takes that money and
Little
she's just
Willie,
like,
Willie
fuck
won't.
it, I'm buying this joint. And she uses that money.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway.
Because
I'm assuming Gully wants it back. But.
When the person the fair, the county fair, the state fair, gives the money to what's his name? We're just talking about him. Big dick guy. What am I drawing blank?
Bill.
Wild Bill. I thought Wild Bill was going to take the money.
Right.
And we never see him give the money. I go, I thought he would take the money. But then when you find out season 2, okay, he's just a great guy. He's a great guy. He has no reason to be cool to Jack because Jack fucked him over. Right. Yeah. And Jack had this deal with, if he just would have been more patient. I understand why Jack got frustrated. Not Jack.
Right.
King of Spades. I understand why the King of Spades is Tom, right?
Tom,
Jack.
yeah.
I understand why Tom got frustrated because, you keep going to Atlanta and Ted Turner keeps saying, fuck you, I got to go to my yacht. But you have to play the game, and he wouldn't play the game, but yet he was setting himself up to be the star and turned out to be Wild Bill was the star. And then his wife, when he says, I'm not staying, I get it. This guy's chasing his dreams and he's going big, but she was kind of bitchy about the way she did it. Seriously. I mean, and then he ends up killing himself. So anyway, that's all I can say. But anyway, hats off to Cris. That's your two for whatever.
And I guess on that note,
to be fair, who would have thought Cris would have recommended a show about punching people?
we should take a commercial break here and kind of reset the.
But I really enjoy. I thought it was great. I highly. I know we probably spoiled everybody, but you still go watch it.
I think we're skirting that line of not too spoilery, but I don't know. That's me. All right. So I also finished, as well as Jack had talked about, Dark Winds in the last 2 weeks. I kind of disagree with Jack, though. I like season 1 more than season 2. I think there's more intrigue in season 1 with there's more mystery of what is going on, whereas in season 2 it's kind of straightforward. Here's the person we're chasing. And I felt the ending with the main villain was really rushed. And I don't know if it's because maybe they thought they weren't going to get a season 3, even though it has been approved. It's like, hey, why did you reveal that so quickly?
It is weird because they give you the answer, but then it lasts for another 30 minutes. I think they wrapped up the show.
They did. Yeah. You could end it right there and that could be the end of the series, but I'd be very curious what I know that it's a book series apparently because one of the guys that was working in my house saw me watching an episode. He goes, "Oh yeah, I've read all these books." I was like, "They're books?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I didn't know. I just happened to turn it on. I was watching the previews on Netflix, and I go, "Oh, this looks interesting."
So I'm not done with season 1 yet, but I also was watching it, and I brought it up on my screen here because Jack was like, I don't know, 3 episodes into this show, and he was like, "Oh, it's taking place in 1970."
Right. That's what it is. The leisure shoot.
No. It was fucking season 2.
Right.
I just want to point out to everybody on the screen right now, I have pulled up season 1, episode 1, 15 seconds in, it says 1971.
Right.
It's not too far in.
Okay, I'm
So,
supposed
anyway.
to. I'm supposed to read that.
Okay.
Right.
I'm supposed to
Okay.
read it.
Anyway,
I all the
it's funny 'cause
vehicles are from the 70s. All the clothes are
I
70s.
I brought
Well,
receipts. So
Okay, I got to be honest with you. I thought they're on the reservation. That they're
they're just that
Oh,
far
you
in the
think
past.
stereotyping,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they've been treated like crap. They're piss poor. I go, come on,
wow.
hand me down clothes. Am
I'm
I wrong?
Yeah, you're completely wrong because I watched the opening. I think I'm on episode. There's 6 episodes. I think I'm on episode 5 of season 1. And
Hey, look, when I heard
need to
moon
finish.
landing, I said, okay, what am I missing? I said, oh, this is not
The
present
date
day.
at the beginning that said 1971, but whatever.
Hey, we all make mistakes.
I wasn't here for the math.
I was into the acting, man. The acting
I get it.
wild.
I do like the characters and the actors on that show.
Well, to be
And
fair, I don't know. In the middle of nowhere, do they have cable TV? I don't know. Right? I mean, it's just, do they have cable TV out in the middle of nowhere?
Sure.
Seriously, they dragging a cable out that far?
I challenge anybody to watch the first half hour of that show and not be confused as Jack was. Is like, oh, wonder when this. Now, maybe your internal clock is always in 1970. Like you look at it, you're like, hey, life's changed outside, but it's my mind. It's still 1970. So you just
wish. Wait, nope. I'll take the punishment. I fucked up.
It is a good series, though. I mean, even though I won't be able to watch it, even if the 3rd season came out tomorrow, because I don't have AMC Plus, I'd have to wait like another year.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah, it is on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, you can
season 1 too. Yes,
it's really good. The acting is really good, and it's just yeah, I like it.
So
it also.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris, or whoever.
Well, I was gonna move on from that unless you want to keep going.
I was going to move on as well. So yeah,
okay,
you can go ahead. And
so I actually ended up watching a show that I didn't directly talk to Matt about, but I definitely indirectly heard him talking about a show called Detroiters.
Yes,
right. Yeah,
and I did finish both seasons of Detroiters,
and
I fucking love that show.
Nice,
right?
I loved that.
I'm
show.
on the 6th episode.
It took me a couple episodes to get into it, to kind of like adjust to the style of
it's a bit of an odd.
Is it 1971 or is it present day?
It's present day.
2018, I think.
2018, whenever it came out.
Okay, all right.
I will say I really, really enjoyed the show. And Matt, you were texting me as well about this show, and you're talking about how much you just love that friendship between Sam and Tim, I think. Sam and Tim, which is it really is such a good like 1-2 punch for the main characters. I laughed out loud almost every episode. I chuckled. I definitely laughed like internally at every episode, but I laughed out loud every episode.
It made me laugh out loud. Like when I watched it.
It really did, dude. Like
it is funny, and I have to go back to it. But someone made me watch Hills.
some of the humor is definitely really,
it's odd.
It's very odd, but man,
you have to pay attention to the dialogue. I mean, if you're not, you're losing the jokes. You're losing.
Yeah, I guess. It's just such a fun ride. And it was a quick 2 seasons because the episodes are a half an hour long at most.
20 something minutes, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's just such a great cast of characters on that show as well. There's some WWE crossover in that series.
I want to point out this character. I'm sure you remember Mort Krim, right? From the show.
Yeah, he's the inspiration to
he's the
Ron Burgundy.
He's also,
I'm not making that up. He's actually the inspiration for Ron Burgundy.
Nice.
And Trent Krim is there's a DNA to Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
and there's a producer.
Ron Burgundy was supposed to be is from a San Diego TV announcer from the 70s.
Yes,
Harold Green.
Well, I can find an
I'm
article that'll tell you the opposite.
Morgan,
I'm just telling you. That's
he's bringing the facts. He's bringing the receipts.
all right. I can do that too.
I find that fascinating, like what actors borrow from to establish their characters. Because, like, I know, like, Chris is not a fan of The Dark Knight, but Heath Ledger's Joker is based off of Tom Waits from the 70s. And if you ever watch a video of Tom Waits from the 70s, like his body language and like just the way he talks, it's like very, yeah, I'm gonna go down here and do a little. It's so straight up Joker.
How do I share something?
What?
How do I share something?
Only you can share prevent.
Share prevent.
Meet Mort Krim, the inspiration to Will Ferrell's Anchorman. This is what Chump of the Week is sharing with me. So
I can't figure out how to do it.
Well, it's there's a little toggle down there that says present and then
present.
You share it.
Present. Share screen, but I don't have it on here. How do I get the thing I saved?
I
don't know.
I'm not sure.
Anywho,
you're no help.
Thank you, Chris, for checking out doing me a solid and also checking out Detroiters.
So I've also moved on and I've now started as of yesterday or today. I can't recall, but You Should Leave. Is it You Should Leave? Is that the name of the show?
Yes, with Tim Robinson.
Tim Robinson, yeah.
I think You Should Leave.
I think You Should Leave. Yeah. It's definitely has the same start as Detroiters is. I'm having a hard time watching it.
It's a different thing,
but
it's a different animal.
It's sketch comedy, right?
It's it's more sketch comedy, and
comedy.
They go definitely into like, and Sam, his friend, actually does appear in at least I think one of the episodes.
Oh, it's the same actor.
Same actor, yeah.
Same actor. Tim Robinson from Detroiters. After he did that show, he did I Think You Should Leave, which you'll see a lot of. That does look like Ron Burgundy.
That looks just like him.
Totally looks like Ron Burgundy.
Harold Green from ABC Channel 7, ABC Los Angeles.
Who is the inspiration for Ron Burgundy? Who is first in flight? We'll never know.
I've read articles that this. I mean, you could be right, but Harold, I think this was the look that they went for.
Maybe it's an amalgamation.
I think they definitely got the look for Ron Burgundy from that gentleman behind you.
Harold Green.
Harold Green. And Mort Krim, though, you'll see him on
Mort Krim. Is he a television guy?
Yeah.
It seems like from Detroit?
A news broadcaster from Detroit.
Yeah.
That Anchorman was based off of.
They try to bring in a lot of people from Detroit too on the show. So,
yeah,
it's like Hawaii 5-0 where they get people from the island.
Detroiters is kind of an odd sense of humor with a lot of heart, I would say. Whereas I Think You Should Leave is an oddball sketch comedy with
no heart.
It just leaves you wondering. But you will see where you see a lot of different memes and gifs because.
What's the Tim Robinson meme that he's very famous for?
You sure about
that? Yeah.
You sure about that? There's a whole commercial with that, which is pretty. It's the is it the coffin one where like
I don't know.
They're moving coffins and the bodies fall out. Anyway, it's really weird.
Well, I didn't do shit too. Isn't that the other one?
That's the other one.
Yeah,
I
didn't do shit.
Yeah,
now he's a stand-up comic, right?
He was on Saturday Night Live, I believe, which is interesting because on both Detroiters and I Think You Should Leave, there's a lot of Saturday Night Live alum on there.
Mm-hmm.
Just popping up random cameos and stuff, which is kind of cool.
For sure.
Yeah, I just watched the episode where he had like the only T-shirt with the fucking tug thing.
So weird. It's so weird. It's got a tug.
Yeah.
It's just
that's knob on a shirt.
Yeah.
And this episode is brought to you by Tug Shirt. It's like, what the fuck?
Matt Treese with Bringing the Knowledge. He was only there for a season, but
Who's
boy,
that?
did he go on to do some really interesting things. And again,
I can't keep track of all the people that have been on.
Oh, he's only
SNL.
on SNL for one season. Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of SNL, so when I was in Palm Springs, I guess 2 weeks ago or whenever it was, and I missed an episode, or maybe it was when we were taking a break. I had some time to kill, and so I watched 2 films. I watched Saturday Night, which was not what I was expecting it to be, because I was expecting more of a comedy than what it actually was. And you quickly realize when you're watching it that nobody can do that. You cannot get a cast that can be dead on those legendary characters, and so, but what the movie's really about is just the chaos, the absolute chaos that for the hour and a half before the first episode of the very first season of SNL did. So if
they break it down, they go 90 minutes for the show, 80
Right.
minutes for the show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you're expecting like a comedy, like a straight up SNL comedy, that's not what it's going to be. It's more about that. And so that's what took me a minute to grasp. Like, oh, this is not the movie I thought it was going to be.
I think either Randy or Jack may have mentioned that. When after Jack had seen it, maybe Randy had mentioned it in the chat, and so I was kind of like, okay, like I was kind of like cued in on that.
Yeah, at first I thought it was going to be a comedy, and then but when I read more about it before I went to go see it, I said, okay. I don't know if I'm gonna like
it's
this.
a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely moments in it that are really good, and there's some kind of like we're like, oh, you're really just trying to hit that impersonation of that sketch, and it feels awkward at times because it's like, well, that's not exactly right, like at least for someone like me, it's like knows those sketches like forwards and backwards. It's like,
I think the guy that played Belushi was spot on.
Yeah, the Belushi was good. Yeah, Belushi was good. I thought Dan Aykroyd was the one that drove me the most nuts, in that he was not actually Dan Aykroyd. He was trying to do the Bassomatic character, as Dan Aykroyd the entire time. It's like that is not who Dan Aykroyd is. Like,
and yet he said that it was an accurate like depiction.
Well, Dan Aykroyd said that, but he said what he said. I go, really, Dan? You were kind of like a sexual
womanizing,
womanizer. I mean, I guess that's the 70s. It was okay, but it just was like, But I like the Chevy Chase character. I mean, it was just him and John Belushi did not get along, and that was portrayed right from the start.
I mean, I think it would be impossible to do like just a dead on. Like I would go into it, I guess, expecting that like these are just going to be like kind of a synthetic version of.
Yeah, it was. It definitely feels synthetic. So. Like I can't remember the actor's name, the African American gentleman that was in the first few seasons of SNL. Like the actor,
Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris. Like you know the actor who's playing him because he's been in stuff. He was in Timeless and
that girl. Not that girl.
The new girl.
Yeah. New girl. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not, but he does an okay job. But I felt his pacing of the way that the real person actually talks, the cadence and his were slightly different. It isn't until the very end where he does the I'm gonna grab me a shotgun and kill all the whiteies. like he nailed that. That was like that's exactly how he did it.
Lamorne Morris.
Yeah,
he plays him.
Yeah,
he plays Garrett, but they're not related.
No, I knew that they were not related.
Okay.
Now Garrett Morris, I heard an interview with him on the Dana Carvey, David Spade show, and he'd gone through some pretty rough times in his life. So, and he. Like, I think it was only in the last 10 years or so that he actually had like kicked cocaine.
Yeah, he was a heavy drug user.
Yeah.
But his Chico Escuela was, baseball been very, very good to me. I mean, he didn't get a lot to do, but he was funny when he had his shot. That was but you have all those young egos. And he had John Belushi didn't like women, as far as he didn't think women were funny. That was, he just was very arrogant and very chauvinistic.
Sure, not much.
It's little things that I like about is when, like the scene where they're on the ice skating rink in front of in the park,
Rockefeller Center.
Rockefeller Center, yeah. And he's just laying there, and he goes, "I'm going to do a triple axel." You're like, "Yeah, right." You know.
Belushi was funny. He's one of my top. He's in my top 10 of SNL characters, actors of all time. He's hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, and then, you know, I don't want to spoil it for the the other two guys haven't seen it. But it's not the greatest film, but it's it's definitely worth watching.
I saw it in the theater. I thought it was great. I loved it. I thought the obviously the pace is fast because it's you only have 90 minutes and just everything, and it was they go, well, we want you to fail. I mean, they don't want it to succeed. Was it Ebersol said? No, they want you to fail. They don't care.
Well, you see that where, because it's really from Lorne Michaels' point of view, guys. Like, it's not, you never see any of the cast from their point of view. It's kind of like they're,
I was expecting it to be from Kermit's point of view.
From Kermit, yeah. Oh, that was actually something that I did not like how they treated Jim Henson in this movie. It's like they kind of made him look like a buffoon a little bit. And I was like, you don't treat Jim Henson like that.
Well, yeah, it was he played the same
respect.
He played the same character as Andy Kaufman.
Right, yeah, same actor, yeah. So basically, Greg from
Secession
plays both Jim Henson and Andy Kaufman. And
Andy Kaufman arrives in character.
Of course, yeah. That's what I thought was odd too. Yeah, he showed up as a.
But that's who Andy Kaufman was, though. He stayed.
Well,
was Andy Kaufman on the first episode though? I don't remember him being on the first episode.
They might have just been trying to, because they definitely are trying to show some.
He was
elements
early on.
They're trying to show elements though from all of SNL, because if you look at things in the background and things that are on tables, like there's at one point they're having a conversation and you'll see a cereal box of Colon Blow on there, and that's from the 90s.
Right.
So it's
that's Phil Hartman. Yeah,
it's Phil Hartman. So there's definitely things that are.
So there's like Easter eggs, I suppose, in there.
I mean, I was thinking the same thing. Was Andy Kaufman on the first one, because he does that? Here Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day. I mean, he doesn't do anything, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they knew exactly how to utilize the Muppets.
They did.
Had they
Andy Kaufman was only on 6 episodes of Saturday Night Live.
Kaufman is in the first. Matt Cris says he is in the first episode.
Okay.
Here I come to save the day.
Can I just say one other thing about the Muppets? Had they used the Muppets at the news desk?
Ooh, that would have been interesting.
I think it would have worked a lot better, because you already have the platform there, so you can do a lot with that, and you can have a little tit for tat with something. And
can I just say that John Belushi would have ripped Kermit's head right off.
Well, they wouldn't have had Kermit.
He would have fit his little fingers to the Wolverines.
So,
but
I think they did a good. It wasn't the right format.
No, but I'm just saying that like the comedians didn't want to work with him, and clearly there was just not enough synergy with that to happen. But I do think
they don't want to give up. They didn't want to give up their time. They had tremendous egos. I mean, they didn't want to give up their time, their slots and slots. But anyway,
the other movie I wanted to bring up, which is total Oscar bait, and it probably nominated a lot, is The Conclave. Which, if you guys have not heard of that, it's got an all-star cast. It's Ralph Fiennes, John Lithgow, and I always forget the other guy's name. So basically what happens is the Pope dies. And it's all about the internal politics of all the cardinals and how they elect the new pope.
Oh shit!
And
it's awesome.
It's really good. It is Oscar bait. It's like I said, it's well acted. It's well scripted. It's got some.
Is it filmed in St. Louis?
Why St. Louis? What are you
Cardinals?
Yeah, Randy says it's his top film of the movies for it. Dune Part 2 definitely, to me, still takes the number 1 spot for me, but Conclave is number 2 for sure.
Conclave, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Is it in the theaters or is it on TV?
It's in theaters, yeah. So I saw it 2 weeks ago, so it'd probably be on demand right next week. The way things go. But
they don't stay in theaters too long anymore.
No.
I watched a movie that I thought I had watched. It's one of those things I thought I had watched a long time ago. I said, let me watch Quigley Down Under again.
That's a great film.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching it and go, I thought I watched every Tom Selleck movie there ever was. I go, I don't think I've seen this.
You never seen Quigley Down Under? What the
Either
hell?
I've seen it and I don't remember.
It's like his best film.
I've never seen it.
I'm like going,
What?
Oh man, you guys see Quigley Down Under. It's like
So
solid
I'm
western.
So I'm watching this movie and I'm like going,
And he
Like,
goes
fuck it.
down under.
I go,
Yeah,
fuck.
goes
He goes
down.
down on the girl, and I said,
What? I don't remember that part.
wait, I thought it was a porn version I saw.
Alan,
but
Alan,
anyway,
okay.
Alan Rickman's in it, Chris.
Alan
Okay.
Rickman's on it. It's his first major film.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not Alan Rickman's
'cause-
major film.
'cause-
Die Hard.
No.
They said, well, it's one of his first major.
It's one of his
role-
face. Yeah. Yeah.
But
First major-
Die Hard's before Quigley Down
Yeah, way
Under.
before. Yeah.
Come
It's
on.
at
I'm
least
just
4 or
saying
5
what they
years.
said. I just when I was reading the thing, they said,
Yeah,
Alan Rickman's one of his
I've heard
first
this
major roles.
excuse, but I'm just reading what they said. They said.
Hey,
Look.
I don't keep track of what these actors, what their thing is.
When
yeah.
did Die Hard come out?
In the 80s sometimes.
88.
I'm not Rain Man. I don't know these things.
Should be.
Okay,
Should be.
well,
By
I mean,
my underwear
geez.
Target.
Yeah, you're Rain Man. Nick.
E-Mark,
You know all
E-Mark,
this. You
E-Mark,
and Matt Treese.
Jeopardy at 3:30. Jeopardy at 3:30.
But yeah, I got to be honest with you. I guess I never saw it, and I really enjoyed it.
It's the dances of wolves of
It's great, and I hate it because I don't think that movie did that well when it was released. And then you have Mr. Baseball and 3 Men and a Little Lady also came out, and those two both bombed as well, and it basically killed his acting career.
3 Men and a Little Lady bombed.
No, 3 Men and a Baby was excellent.
Baby, yes,
that was the hit. But a lady came out in the 90s.
What killed his? He had that
Hey,
High
Lady.
Road to China, right? Which didn't do very well, and he also did a movie with Gene Simmons.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I went to it was some robot thing. It's like today it'd be like no big deal because that's what is going on, drones and all that different stuff. But I was in the theater, remember why? And people were laughing. I'm like going, all right, this isn't supposed to be funny, but people were like laughing because it was so bad.
So bad, yeah. It's like,
and I was a big Tom Selleck fan.
Yeah.
And I was just like going, oh, come on, Tom, you can do better than that.
Yeah. So I mean, people knock on Mr. Baseball, but I like Mr. Baseball. I think it's a good film.
I love Mr. Baseball. It's a different, but what was the name of that movie? I got to find out. Where's Matt Treese? Matt Treese has to know before I find out.
Oh yeah, I definitely hit a nerve with Randy and Miami Mike and Matt Treese when I was talking about Saturday Night with don't treat the Muppets that way, but yeah, their points are valid in that they're horrible sketches.
Well, they didn't belong on that show. I mean, they were trying to do all kinds of different things on Saturday
see
Night.
what worked. Yeah,
throw it up there and see what works. It was a new kind of comedy. Johnny Carson wanted to have his stuff on there. What was it? He wanted to have I'm drawing a blank. His Tonight Show. He reruns the Tonight Show. God,
I'm curious to see what Chris is watching down there. He's like,
no, I'm looking at Mr. Baseball. I went down a rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah, you should definitely watch Quigley Down Under. It's a solid Western.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of good stuff in it. Then Mr. Baseball is probably his second. I mean,
I think I saw it when I was a kid, or it looks so familiar. He just looks like a baseball player from the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
He looks almost like a Don Mattingly lookalike.
And the best thing about it, he's athletic. So he has. I think he played for USC.
Yeah.
So he has he's not one of those baseball, an actor playing a baseball player that can't swing the bat. He was great in the Rockford Files. He plays like the perfect detective. That's how they wrote the part for Magnum PI.
Well, Mr. Baseball is good, Chris, because it's a combination of like a lot of storylines that happen more and more, especially today. But like back then, and you didn't see them as much. But it's a fish out of water story, and the fact that it's an American going to Japan. But
at the end of his career, and you also have this really redemption arc that's in it as well, because he comes in very prideful that he's a major leaguer. He's going to be the best player on this team, and he gets humbled so quickly
by these these guys, and then his turnaround, and it's just a good film. And I hated that it bombed, but
it's also about the difference between Japanese baseball and American baseball. And in fact, American baseball has gone where you're showboating and all that different stuff is there's a different I like the part where the guy throws at him, he goes, tip your hat like he didn't mean it.
His career really fucking went downhill, huh?
Right. Yeah. Like roughly right there around 93, 94. He just,
talked about
because that's why it was such a big deal when he made those cameos on Friends, is because he literally was in the gutter. And, it was like, people love Tom Selleck. People love Tom Selleck. Come on.
The movie I'm talking about is Runaway. Runaway. It's a sci-fi.
Yeah.
Again, people were laughing at it, and it was like, I liked it because it's Tom Selleck, but anyway,
I always remember
he should have been Indiana Jones.
Store. There was a lot of weird sci-fi films that came out though in that period, because I remember like Free Jack with Emilio Estevez and Mick Jagger. I was like, what the hell is this movie? And
so I've never watched Blue Bloods.
Oh, the show, yeah.
And I'm just now learning it that there's 289 episodes to Blue Bloods. It's been out for 14
there's 4 episodes
years
left, and they're done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Originally, Tom Selleck was only supposed to be in like a few episodes, and he'd only film, but they needed it because I watched the first 6 or 7 seasons, and then I just dropped off because they wouldn't kill the kids off.
Oh, Tom Brady's baby mama.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did her wrong, man. She's straight gorgeous.
Oh,
Randy says the kid actors are really good. No, they're not. They're terrible. It's like, okay, because they killed the wife off. What's his name's wife? Marky Mark's brother?
Donnie,
who was in Band of Brothers. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they get the kids were so, and they'd have family dinner every Sunday. I go, all right, can we just get rid of family dinner? I get it, you're a family. But these kids can't act. They're terrible. They're brutal. I finally just got to the point. I can't watch it anymore. I might go back and watch it, but it is what it is.
See, something like that, when you get to that many episodes, like, you're never going to get me to watch
that lasted more than Magnum PI.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
And that was a hit show.
And Magnum PI was a great show. Fantastic show.
I mean,
welcome back, Matt.
Thanks. Yeah.
Welcome back. Your dreams were yours. Take it.
So here I am. Now I'm going down the fucking rabbit hole of Wikipedia / IMDb
for Tom Selleck.
Well, no, this is more like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon on this one. Did you guys ever watch the TV show The Black Donnellys?
Yes. Well, I watched the first season.
I did. I think I watched, like I said, first season. I think
because that didn't make it very long, because it was kind of considered to be because the thing is, The Sopranos was king at that time. Yeah, and the network that it debuted on required it to be, I think, because it was like FX or something. It was very PG compared to Sopranos, and I think that's what killed it.
Yeah, I think I did watch it, and I didn't really get into it.
Yeah, it could have been good if they allowed them to be completely raw with it, but it just was not.
I thought it was awesome, but like that's a show that got cut off way too soon. Did it even have two seasons? I don't think it had 1 season.
It might have been just 1 season. I remember watching it when it came out.
Yeah, I remember watching when it came out.
Yeah, it's only 13 episodes.
Matt Tree says Black Donald was the only had 1 season.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I did watch the 1 season then. Okay. There's a lot of shows like that though that that are really good, and it just doesn't find either the right home or the right audience. And then
I don't know if I watched. I know I watched the start of it, and it was kind of like I probably just gave up on it. What year did that come out? Because I had kids.
Like
then.
2007. Yeah.
2000. Oh, I didn't have kids then.
I like Miami Mike. Miami Mike's exactly. This is what I was thinking. Exactly.
Yes, it was. It was the Pan Am.
The reason he's
Pan Am too. That's
the reason he's saying that, because I used to work with a guy who is to this day is still pissed that Pan Am got canceled.
Pan Am it had such potential.
It took, you know what? It took too long to get to the twist. It took too long that the girl was working as a spy on Pan Am.
Yeah.
It took too long, and people are like going, okay, I'm
well,
bored.
they tried. It was on that Mad Men kind of cusp, so they were trying to do the slow burn.
Because what's the actress that was in it?
Margot Robbie.
She was in it, and also the girl from Addams Family.
But had Pan Am gone on, maybe we wouldn't have had
Christina
Margot
Ricci.
Robbie.
Christina Ricci.
Yeah, I know. If I ever, like Chris, like, Comic-Con, if I ever ran into Margot Robbie, that'd be the first thing I ever said to her. Pan Am. She's like, I saw it, I liked it, and she'd be like, "Oh wow, that was forever ago." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." You
were out the way you held your suitcase when you walked on, because they all held it the same Pan Am way. People are like, "What the fuck is Pan Am?" The younger kids playing at home. What the fuck is Pan Am?
Yeah, all of our TV references.
The
tonight.
airline
Are going to be like
back in the day.
It was the airline to be on, except for one time.
So I was supposed to go back to San Francisco.
Too soon.
Except for that one fucking time.
Too soon.
Well, actually, there's a couple times. Didn't the Pan Am flight crash in San Diego?
Yeah, that's what killed.
That was PSA, which they switched it to Southwest Airlines.
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
That's why they changed the name, because PSA, and there's jokes.
There's a great bar over in that neighborhood.
Yeah, there was
Hamilton's.
North Park. But the guy that I don't know, you guys remember Bewitch?
Yeah.
The guy that played Larry Tate, Bewitch, the TV show.
Yeah.
The guy that played Larry Tate was on the Pan Am flight that got blown up.
Oh.
They got what? Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what I've read. I don't know if it's fact, but
we got to take your face value for it.
Sam couldn't save him at that point. Ding, ding, ding.
Well, he was clearly on the satanic show, so he had to have some kind of.
I can't wiggle my nose like she did.
Yeah.
And who didn't have a crush?
Dinka dinka dink. Might be
dinka dinka dink. Dinka dinka dink. Dinka
dink. I think that's like what
cross in text.
What Donner said to Blitzen about his son. Dinka dinka dink.
Dinka dinka dink. Oh, we got that fucking red nose guy coming here taking charge. Fuck him.
Okay.
He was no good in the games.
I don't want to go down the Rudolph, but we did watch it recently. And here's
Santa's
the thing.
a dick.
Santa, it's Christmas fucking Eve, and the guy is like skinnier than I am. And
because he won't eat.
And then the wife's like, but he's gonna gain that much weight in that short of time.
Well, you think she'd have something more than just fucking soup for him?
Think he'd be eating like nonstop since Thanksgiving.
He's eating soup. How fat is he gonna get eating soup?
I don't understand.
And there's no meat in the soup.
The timeline, it makes no sense. There's like a Christmas Eve, they go off, and then like
shove a pillow in the stomach. Fuck
Rudolph
him.
goes off on his own for like a whole couple years as he matures into a buck. Then he comes back in order to have this like showdown and
she said I'm cute, man. My name is Buck Naked.
I don't want to see that porn.
No. Rudolph, with your nose so bright, come over here and make my night.
I assume you're referring to the.
That's what she was saying. Come on.
Oh Christ!
I guess so.
What was the doe's name? Come over here. Come over here, doe. I'm Rudolph, man.
So he's from Jersey.
You're looking at me. Come on, baby.
Clarice.
Come on, Clarice.
That is.
Come on, baby.
Right. That is correct.
Come on. Stay away from him. He's got a red nose.
He's got a knife.
Did you guys ever get around to watching HBO's The Penguin?
No,
I did not.
I have not.
Okay. Sunday. So this season.
How many episodes?
I think 8.
Worth it?
Worth it.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but great things about it.
I mean, it's not like it's a typical what you think of the Penguin. It's not an action villain hero, so he's more of a calculating and mobster, but it's good.
Does he ever like wear a top hat?
No, he does not wear a top hat. He's not going. He didn't do any of the typical penguins.
Burgess Meredith's still the best penguin ever.
Yeah, like it's
You can't win, Rock.
It's definitely not Danny DeVito's Penguin. It's definitely not Merger Spirit. It's he's a sad man in this one.
It's a Sopranos Penguin.
Yeah,
Sopranos Penguin.
You see, Miami Mike said he thought Margot Robbie. He knew Margot Robbie would be a star, but then he also thought Russ would be a star someday. So,
hey, 50-50 shot there, Mike.
Yeah, there you go.
I saw the movie Here with Tom Hanks,
wow.
and
we had horrible reviews. I'm curious to hear what you'd say about it.
I liked it. I mean, I don't like. It's an interesting concept of a movie and how they did it. And there's a punch that happens that is just really cool. How it transforms it. So I understand that some people have like been critical of it. I liked it in the fact that it spanned these lives, and
because they never leave the living room, right?
Right.
They never leave the living room, and you're getting snippets of different worlds and different lives. Now, we saw it on actually in the movie theater, so it was really cool because there are these frames and these windows that kind of keep popping and going in and out, and so seeing it big, there were certain things that I felt like we kind of
Is there
saw.
a scene where they're watching Forrest Gump?
No, but there's a lot of different music. There's a lot of heart to it, and you see kind of almost like how generational trauma kind of like can occur, I guess, like because you kind of see.
Do they do like current events, like something they're watching the TV and something happens, like Nixon, Kennedy getting shot or something like that? Or am I too far back?
Not necessarily. They have just different moments throughout, and yes, it does more focus on the Tom Hanks and the Robin Wright, like those two.
Yeah.
However, there are other families and other time periods that you see play out, and it's a lot more broad than what you think. It's not just these two. They are kind of the core of the story, but you have these other stories kind of moving in and out of time, and so it's not linear, which is really cool. And in many ways, it reminded me of Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Okay,
and not in a multiverse. That deals kind of more multiverse kind of way. This is more time being disjointed in a unique way to kind of create a tapestry. So
I'll be honest, when I first saw the concept, I go, I know, I kind of like but I said, I don't know if I could sit there through an hour and a half of but two great actors. I mean,
I like Tom Hanks. I like what they did. I mean, it's pretty cool how you do see them age. And I don't know. I mean, I thought
I've never heard of this movie. I'm like blown away right now.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Here, let me.
Did a volleyball come into play? And Tom Hanks said, "Oh, don't leave me."
Yeah. So it all takes place. Like I think it's a single camera, Chris, like one shot, and it's in a living room in this one home, and then it's a gimmick movie, like Randy says, but he said he liked it. It's kind of like Boyhood that came out like a decade ago, where like they follow this kid.
Is it got comedy in it? Is it just
dinosaurs?
I mean, I think I think it has a lot more heart than comedy. There are humorous moments in the movie, and some real laugh out loud moments.
So the house is not like a money pit or anything like that. It's
no.
Okay. All right.
Shelley Long.
So again, it has a lot of heart. It has a lot of like moments of life passing through, and there are some humorous moments, and there are some kind of repetitions. And like I said, you can kind of see kind of how trauma can affect I don't know.
And they do they do the technology where they can make them look older and younger, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. No, and that
looks interesting as hell, man.
Yeah, we saw it with our family, and kids enjoyed it. And again, it has.
I feel like this is like the adult version of like Up.
It's gonna be like
That's kind of cool.
Kind of. I could see that. It definitely has, like I said, there's some similarity, I thought, walking out of the theater where I was like, oh, this reminded me of Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
So when people kind of pan it for being gimmicky or being too schmaltzy, I guess sign me up for the schmaltz, because I do like some heart. I do like it when things and not everything has to be. I mean, there is tragedy and there's sorrow in the movie, but
it's just about their life, about how they're.
Or when he loses.
Again, you just see different families and different.
But they're the two main characters about how their life goes, about family and stuff like that.
You do follow them. Yes, they are. Like I said, they are the core characters of the movie. But
Randy
you see, there are other people that. There are other people and other people's lives that you see play out. And Paul Bettany, I think he's like kind of the unsung actor, because Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, they're the draw, right?
Well, right. Yeah. Paul Bettany is such a great actor that never got his due to this day. He's been in so many movies. It's kind of like William H. Macy. He's been in so much shit. But he's always the second or third character. He's never the character. And
he can deliver emotion in a way that just and that's
but there's a lot of actors that way.
Yeah.
That's
there's
where
just some actors that are just better as like John Candy. I thought was always better as a second.
I think the only time I'm still thinking of Paul Bentley. The only time I can think of Paul Bentley actually had a leading role was Wimbledon that he did with Kirsten Dunst, with the tennis one. That's a good film.
Didn't see it.
Okay. It's a romantic comedy. It's basically he's a tennis player, a British tennis player at the end of his career. He's never been ranked higher than 60th ever.
Well, he's British. They don't win tennis.
Right. They don't win anything. Exactly. That's the thing. But then he meets Kirsten Dunst, who is the top tennis player in the women's division.
She was his cheerleader.
Yeah. Well, they end up kind of falling in love.
See what I did there?
Yeah, and he ends up winning. Spoiler alert, he ends up winning Wimbledon, because of her. And it's it's a good little film.
You didn't get what I said, but cheerleader. She was
cheerleader. Oh, she was a cheerleader. That's right.
He was awesome as Ted Kaczynski in that movie. Did you ever see that?
She was Ted Kaczynski?
No. Paul Bettany.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember that.
I did not. But Therese, is that right? Is he getting a vision show?
Well, they've been rumored that he's going to get a vision show.
That'd be great.
So he played Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, in a movie called Manhunt a few years ago. It was, or not a movie, it was a miniseries. It was very, very good.
Did he look like Kaczynski that had the cool glasses and pretty good, or the Kaczynski that was just crazy man?
Early on,
because the whole time we're looking for a guy that looks pretty hot, and then we end up looking for the guy.
The movie is up to the point where he gets it kind of follows him up to the point where he gets arrested. It ends him his cabin getting raided.
So for everyone out there, Matt's scrolling through his IMDb right now, and when I think of him, I think of A Knight's Tale, but still, then it's a bit role. I think of A Beautiful Mind, still a bit role. And then he's even in Da Vinci Code, bit role. There's so many things he's been in.
There's Wimbledon, 2004, Master and Commander.
Master and Commander is a great film. That's a series that should have kept going and never did. And it was so good.
Yeah,
but there's just some actors out there that are just better at being number two.
Yeah,
I'm just saying there's just some actors that they should just be. They're not made to be the star.
I would say that for anybody that does watch here, yes, Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, watch him though. His performance is really good. All right, let's take another commercial break.
All right.
Therese recommending potential versus best character actor.
Oh, that's hard.
That's really tough. That's so
Tom Cruise.
But we haven't done a versus in a while. That would be a good versus.
Yeah. Tom Cruise.
You seen the new Mission Impossible movie, and he's showing some of his stunts he's done. It's come on, what the fuck, man? He's on a side of a mountain, grabbing onto it. I'm going, dude, what do you have to prove?
Right. You imagine his insurance company.
No, Well, it's the church of
Scientology, yeah.
Scientology.
I get it, but if you're the director or the producer, and you're like going, okay, if he dies, doing one of these stunts, and we're only halfway filming it, how do we finish it?
Well, it lives on in infamy, but another actor though that I'm always like, what? Why are you still working? And I know, I know Nick and I have watched this show, but Harrison Ford, like, does he have some gambling debt that we don't know about? But Shrinking though is currently on, and I am up to date on that show. It is.
Yeah, me too.
The season's getting really good, so really.
I think he got to a certain point, roughly around 2006, 2008, where he just said, "Fuck it, I don't care anymore," and just decided to take every role that came his way.
Well, he was in that show. Was it 1923?
Yeah,
with what's her name? The
Yellowstone prequel.
Yeah. He was outstanding in it.
Yeah, and he's going to be in the next Captain America movie.
I keep waiting for it to come back, but I was like going. I was thinking the same thing. I go, all right, this is a great. I mean, he's great in it. I go, but why is he doing it?
He's going to be Red Hulk. Basically,
he must, like you said, he must be in debt or something.
That movie's going to bomb so bad. Captain America.
You think?
Yeah. Well, they've invested over $250 million in it already. So even if it was a massive hit, it would still be a bomb just financially. But every test audience that I've ever seen of it, they've hated it. So
really,
they've constantly reshot it and re-edited it. That's why it's over 250 million. So it's
they need to move on from these superhero movies.
And I think they're catching on.
I think people have just they were great for a while.
You guys are still talking about it. I have Shrinking pulled up to promote this show.
Shrinking is a good show. I mean, I like it.
He was in the pool.
Current episode was kind of funny.
It's if you haven't caught it yet, it is on Apple TV Plus. So check it out. It's definitely bingeable, and there's some stuff that's kind of come up. I think the last episode that just aired, I really enjoyed. There was some emotional kind of things that were said, and whenever characters kind of say things that you're like, I feel like that to someone else, like I feel like saying, like, I could have said this to so and so, or it kind of rips from your life or from your throat. Like that's good. That's what we're here for. So, but it's also funny. So
it's on my list of things. I forgot to mention on The Hill. What happens to James Harrison in the second season?
Yeah, he's gone. I don't know.
I mean, they show him that scene where he allegedly. It's actually a real scene from a real thing where he takes his girlfriend and throws her through a TV, which actually happened with the next NFL player. But I'm like going because in the show he's so level-headed and he's like trying to tell Rooster, hey, it can't be all about you. But the second season he's not even in it. I thought he did a great job. So I was wondering if you guys.
He's like the father of the group.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had any information on it.
No.
No? Okay.
Another Apple show, because Shrinking is on Apple. Another show that I watched all the way through, which I'm not sure if I want to recommend it or not. It's called Disclaimer with Cate Blanchett. And it's superb for a good majority of the series. But the ending of it, to me, just like letting the air out of a balloon. It's based on a book, and I felt that they did it so good, but then they did not stick the landing to the point of it's believable, because all the characters in it are awful. Every single character they're awful. So you're not really rooting.
Awful human beings. Also, okay.
Awful human beings. Yeah, awful acting. No, not acting. The acting is great. It's Kevin Kline and Cate Blanchett are the two main people in it. Sacha Baron Cohen is also in a bit role in it. And basically, it's to give you a little bit of a setup. It does have some flashbacks in it, but a young man has died, and a book gets published by another character blaming another character for his death.
Okay.
And so the entire series, you're believing a certain point of view, and then it kind of flips on you a little bit. And so that's what I'm saying. It kind of, the ending to me felt a little too like, here's my side of it. Oh, okay, that's what really happened. And you're like, well, you're not really presenting a case other than this is my version of it. And it's
You're not
like,
giving both
son
sides.
of a bitch. It just kind of like, it was so good. And then you just.
What was the name of the show?
Disclaimer.
Okay.
Yeah, I still would say give it a shot, guys, because you will like it. It's just kind of like, shit. And me, I'm a harsh critic anyway, so you guys might go, Nick's full of shit.
Never.
I find that hard to believe.
Shocking.
No.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Never.
I think you're full of shit.
Yeah, I know. No. Anyway,
who's watching the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight tomorrow?
There's so many rules though that are in it. I don't really consider it a boxing match.
You can't hit me here, and you can't hit me here.
2-minute rounds, heavier.
Apparently,
gloves.
he also can't knock him out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like is it really a boxing match?
He can't knock Jake Paul out.
No.
But it's Mike Tyson. Once Mike Tyson gets in the ring, fuck it.
He could just nick you and you're out.
I didn't know there was a bunch of different fucking.
There's a bunch of rules. Yeah, like I said, they're 2-minute rounds. They're wearing 16-ounce gloves instead of 10-ounce gloves. It's only 8 rounds. There's a bunch of stuff that's like to. But
I look again. I said there's no fucking way. I don't care if Tyson's 90. I'm not getting in the ring with that.
Oh, and there's no way. You have to be crazy. Yeah,
because he gets possessed. I mean, there's just I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's got probably a lot of wrestling to it. It's a lot of it's going to be fake. But fuck it, Tyson at 50-something still hit you and knock you to tomorrow.
Yeah,
knock you tomorrow, Rocky. You can't win.
Did you guys see the footage of his open workout?
Yeah. You sent it to us, I think.
Oh my god! Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're right. Well, that was something different. But like,
okay.
I think it was yesterday. They did like an open workout where they actually have like they allow the press in to huddle around the ring when they're literally just practicing, and it was like something straight out of like WWE. Everyone's just like crowding the ring and watching it, and like he's just going to town on his trainer, and he looks incredible, like incredible.
Again, he's scary.
Yeah,
he's a scary guy.
Also cocaine. Yeah.
You saw did you guys see the video Jay sent where this young girl asked him a question about his legacy?
Shit, yeah.
I'm like going, geez, thanks for cheering me up there, Mike.
Right? Yeah, he basically is like, I don't care if I am ever remembered.
I don't care if if I'm
like
fuck,
legacy doesn't matter.
Dead. Who cares?
Legacy is just a word.
I did the Pepsi challenge. What do I care? You know what I'm saying?
I thought that was Jay Leno.
I mean, to me,
French all you want. We'll make more.
Right, liar.
I used to do a great Mike Tyson, but I have to, it's been years.
I don't know. Like, the thing about legacy or things about what people remember, like to me, when I think of Mike Tyson, I think of two things. I think of what he was in the late 80s and the video game, and I think of him biting Holyfield's ear off. That's the only two things I think of. But
I think I'm fighting Michael Spinks, and I said, okay, let me go down and get some. I was in an apartment. I go, I'm let me run out. I'll get some Cokes, some drinks. Came back. I go, what do you mean it's over?
Right.
It was over. I missed it. I had a legal box then, so it's like.
I just moved to Indianapolis, so it was pretty relatively fresh happening. But the rape trial with Mike Tyson that was happening. So I remember that first and foremost. And then there's the ear biting.
Yeah.
So
I remember watching that one live. That was like one of the few times Dad actually paid for a pay-per-view to watch that. It was like, what the fuck is he doing? Because you could clearly see him like biting him, and you're like,
he's an animal.
He's losing.
Yeah, he's losing. Yeah, he didn't want to lose. That's what it was. Holyfield was kicking
But when
his ass.
when he had that pet tiger, and then someone stole his tiger, I forget what episode that was. I think that's where his career kind of rebounded when in The Hangover.
The Hangover, yeah. The Hangover is what brought him back.
Yeah.
That and weed. He turned into a huge bothead.
I'm just imagining like the scene from Scarface with the tiger. So
what else?
Anyway. Well,
Say hello to my
we're-
little friend.
we're about out of time, right?
Any
Oh,
emails?
I think so.
Yeah, we got some emails.
Okay,
we?
okay, let's do this.
I mean, to be fair, we might have to reban Randy. But
we should probably have to take a third commercial break. Just throw it in there before we do the email. Like, let's just get this.
sure.
It's probably a commercial about the lottery anyway.
All right.
Is that
about
what the commercials are? The lottery?
Don't know.
Oh, okay.
All right. So remember, we've been on a break for
Random.
a while. So
Hey, I was on a break. The copy girl was hot. What do you want me to do?
this one is from October 24th from Randy.
October 24th. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
It says movie picks. Movie picks.
Movie pick.
Hello, Maddie Ball Game, Gentleman
Oh.
Chris. Well,
Okay.
who's lying there?
I don't know.
Nashville Nick.
You sure about that?
Yeah. I was like, I'm not from Nashville either. And then Mopehead Jack.
Oh, moped.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Randy. Thanks
Yeah.
for
Or
the
is it
love.
Mophead? I think it's Mophead.
It could be Mophead.
'Cause
Yeah.
he wore a mop for a head.
Mop.
Mophead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me feel a little better, Randy. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Moped.
Yeah. So anyway, so glad to be welcomed back into the blessed fold. I saw,
And
yeah, and you're gonna be rebanned probably soon, but I saw 2 movies last week. One, Wild Robot,
And the other one was 10 Commandments. It's been
which
so
we
long.
talked about. Like Matt and I talked about Wild Robot as well. It was fun. Love the animation style, as mentioned by Matt. It had a different look and seemed a little like a.
Painting?
Is that a? Oh, have you read it?
No, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
You called the word.
I have
Well,
not read it. I
okay.
just assumed because it has a
Hmm.
painterly vibe to the.
That's the word he said. Painterly style.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I have not read this.
Yeah.
I have not read
yeah.
No.
Did you write the email? Are you Randy?
We've been blaming Randy forever. It's
Yeah.
actually you.
Like I understood exactly
Uh-huh.
what moped was. And,
Uh-huh,
I mean,
yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
it's just-
You sure he doesn't mean moped? Moped? Okay. All right. Okay.
did you mean asshole? Is that what you meant to say?
Yeah, I
I
can go
never
with that one,
learned to
too.
read. Anyway, great fun depictions of animals and nature. I want more. The second film, which I have not heard of this one, was called Goodrich. Good, well-acted
Tires?
movie. That's what you would think, right? With something
Yeah.
called Goodrich, yeah. But very sad. Michael Keaton. Oh, okay. Michael.
Cindy that's the movie Cindy wants to see.
Okay. Yeah, Michael Keaton was really good. It's not really a comedy, more of a drama with some comedic moments and asides. No one really a bad person, and everyone is trying their best. But it's just a sad, sad story. Perhaps a glimmer of hope at the end. Life happens.
Catch-up entertainment.
Good movie, but don't expect to laugh out loud. Just some humorous Michael Keaton comments.
Yeah, Cindy wanted to see that. She goes, I love Michael Keaton. I go, since when?
Yeah. Mr.
So
Mom.
I asked the question. I go, since when? She goes, I've always liked Michael Keaton. I said, okay.
Yeah.
Really? Mr. Mom?
Other recent films.
Who was in Terry Garr was in it? She passed away. I'm sorry.
She just passed away. That's right. Sad.
I know, sad.
What knockers?
That was convincing.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
I'm sorry. Yeah. What knockers? You know, I mean, God.
Roll in the hay. Roll
Roll,
in the hay.
So if anyone didn't get that joke, I'm not making a sexual joke here. I'm actually
No,
making
no.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
actually the
Young
movie,
Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it,
All right. Other recent films. I really liked Saturday Night and My Old Ass. Audrey Plaza is so fun to watch.
My Old Ass.
Yeah, so I've seen it on. I think it's available now on one of the streaming services. So check it out. But
Okay.
the Springsteen concert doc Road Diary will be available on Disney Plus Hulu tonight at midnight. So remember, this is back in October, so it is available now.
Thanks for telling us now, Randy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right, have a good week. All right. The second email from Randy.
It's on Prime, says Matthew Treese.
Okay, great. This is a joke. Let's hope so. Astronomical quiz. Why do astronomers put their meat in the shower?
To telescope?
Get
I don't know.
more.
Come on. It's pretty
To meet
obvious.
in the shower. To a
Meteor
hot
shower?
To have a meteor shower.
Oh, wow.
What the
Oh,
hell?
wait. Who got it? The guy that didn't read the email. Oh,
Yeah, The guy who didn't write the joke. Yeah.
I didn't.
Whatever, Randy.
I didn't write this. Thanks, Randy. That was really great.
And for Randy's third email.
Oh my God,
geez,
Randy.
okay.
The hits just keep coming. Don't we know it? What do you call children born in a whorehouse?
Don Draper.
What? Oh, geez. Yeah, you're right. I forgot.
That'll
about
probably get it. Yeah.
that. I'll get it. I didn't
Because
write
you
this.
wrote it.
I did not fucking write it. I swear, I don't even know.
All right.
What do you call children born in a whorehouse?
There is a house in New
You don't, because they've been aborted.
Oh.
What? Jesus. What the hell,
have you
man?
not ever seen horror movies? Movies
Come
about
on.
horrors? You ever seen Deadwood?
What the fuck?
Am I wrong?
Just skip the last 5 seconds.
Okay.
Jeez.
All right. Well,
I took a chance.
the punchline is
Even Miami Mike's like, wow.
wow.
Miami Mike never uses all caps. Like, he pulled out the boomer.
Hey, I've seen Deadwood. I'm just sorry. I had to go with that.
Oh, okay, sure. Mhm.
Wow.
So the punchline.
No, the episode title is just
wow.
Wow.
They're gonna think that we're talking about something else, and then they're gonna have 40 minutes of heels, and they're like,
What the fuck?
Yeah, World of Wrestling. Wow.
World of Wrestling. Wow.
boom,
Uh,
it's connected like a rainbow.
Hey, I went with the obvious answer. Okay.
all right. The punchline is brothel sprouts.
What?
I like mine better.
No, they're good.
That's what happens in whorehouses. What do you want me to
think
do?
The problem lies within the question and the joke, but okay. Anyway,
Am I wrong? Is that what happens?
everything's wrong now, and usually I'm the one that makes it wrong. Am I right, Chris?
It's usually you. Yes. This is a role reversal for the top.
But am I right though?
Cubes here.
Can I be? I don't know.
If you want to be labeled
I
as
think
right,
we should move
go
on
for
to
it.
Randy's fourth email if he's got one.
He
Yeah.
does not. We do have a
Oh.
fourth email though. But yeah.
Miami Mike says Jax was better and worst.
Okay, Chris, am I banned from the show for a while?
I mean, that was pretty darn close. But
I was stating a fact. I mean, have you guys seen Deadwood?
Of course.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
All right.
but-
So what is Trixie known for?
Turning tricks.
Well, she's known for aborting her babies. I mean, anyway.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's just not where our brain was thinking. So you're kind of like a railroad train coming at us sideways.
I'm just saying I've seen a lot of TV shows where the prostitutes have to abort the baby. I mean,
Okay.
just
well,
stating a fact. I'm not
sure.
Catholic, so it's okay.
Yeah.
The fourth email. Oh,
Did not think that was where the political conversation would go tonight, but go ahead. What is the fourth email?
the fourth email is coming from the Canadian.
Great.
So we've kind of addressed this already a little bit, but the one thing I'm actually looking forward to is the boxing match between Mike Tyson and one of the half of the douchebag Paul brothers this weekend on Netflix.
Oh, he's got a brother?
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
His
Yeah.
brother is Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He made the Prime energy drink. He's in wrestling.
Okay. All right.
YouTuber. He's a douche.
I thought he was aborted.
He wasn't born in a whorehouse. God. Yeah. I've never watched a boxing match, and I have no idea how they get points. Wait, do they get points? I just hope that
Yes.
Mike beats.
They have to break blocks up above them. Bing, 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 bing. And then every now and then a mushroom comes down. You eat that.
That's not it.
Well, you have to when you fight Mike Tyson, you have to look for the guy in the crowd that does like the little ducky move, and then you have to
like the
combo.
Yeah.
What's it? Joe something? Joe Schmo?
That's Glass
Joe.
Jaw
Joe. Yeah. I need to get that. I used to love that game.
Somebody put up a on Reddit. I was looking at it earlier today. It was like an image on the left side. On the left, was it Nick?
That was me. I sent to the group.
Oh,
yeah.
That was you.
See, I remember. Yeah. I remember.
I saw this thing on my
Jack
phone.
was the one guy that laughed
at
it.
From.
You know, so I was like,
yeah. But it was funny. I thought it was funny because I remember those days.
Funny.
I never beat Tyson.
You gotta laugh.
It's hard to beat Tyson. Yeah, on that game.
He's brutal.
Women
he
wanted
me. He wanted me to when we were in prison together, but I said no. I'm not doing it. Sorry, Mike.
All right.
Is there more to this email?
Yeah.
Jinx.
Yo me.
Are you guys planning
Coke.
to watch it? It would be fun to hear your thoughts about it next episode.
I think I want to watch it.
Also, if you know anything about boxing besides the whole hitting each other part, can you please give us the newbies a gist on how the match works? If you guys,
it's 25
the
points
Canadian.
for hitting the nuts, and it's just
Who's
1
the
point for the
Canadian?
jaw.
you know who the Canadian is?
Jessica.
Okay. I always think that Russ was we always called Russ the Canadian.
Yeah, well, I always suggest
Jack was really confused. He was like, "He's listening to us."
right.
Fuck,
He's
I
gonna love these
Russ
Pan Am comments.
No, it wasn't Russ.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Russ. It was another guy.
So Jess, like we've already said, this is not a conventional boxing match because usually they're 3-minute rounds. Standard is 12 rounds, but you can extend to 15. You have a thing called a TKO, which means if you get knocked down 3 times, then you win. The other person wins, and then you have a knockout, which is just what it is. It's a knockout.
And this is like the shittiest version of boxing ever.
Jess, go watch Rocky 1.
Are there pawns involved?
Sometimes.
But basically, the point system, though, Jess, is really simple in boxing. Like if you win a round, you get 1 point. So whoever wins the most rounds, if it comes to a decision,
I thought it's based on how many punches land on the face.
Punches
right?
and landed, yeah.
Punches landing, and then you get points for each. So you can have 9 punches, 8 punches. Yeah, you're right. So yeah.
What about the feet? Are the feet like negative points?
No, this isn't MA. Was it MA? Whatever.
No, but if you punch someone in the foot, does that count?
That's stupid. It's below the belt. You can't hit below the belt, right?
I can't get over how much that dude looks like Ron Burgundy. I'm sorry.
I know.
bringing it back.
I'm telling you, that
is absolutely the inspiration for at least how he fucking looks.
Hey,
that is Ron.
You guys
Burgundy.
did the science. Both of you knew part of the source of Ron Burgundy.
High five, Chris. Fuck it, I can't figure.
But yeah, I think we're all in agreement as well as some of the people in the chat. Just watch Rocky 1. And you'll be more entertained.
Or we've just talked about heels for 40 minutes. If you skipped past that, watch heels because
it'd probably be more entertaining than
seriously. Well, does that do it? Are we?
We're all good with emails now.
I think we're all good. Let's blow this thing and go home.
All right.
At this point, we'd like to just pander to you and send us an email and we'll read it at the very end and make fun of you. No, we won't.
I will.
And possibly
Jack might.
It's a 50-50.
I might tell you to go fuck yourself. But
I mean, you have banned Randy before.
Nick's probably going to misread it. So there we are.
2 hours to get an episode title.
Wow.
See, if I read that, I would just read it like Owen Wilson. Just wow,
man, that's just great, you know. Ka-chow.
Are we done like the babies?
No,
in
don't
the
read that out
brothel?
loud. Don't read that out loud. Yeah, don't read that out loud. Don't fucking read that out
Are
loud.
we done like the babies in a brothel?
Okay, all right. Anyway,
I'm just stating. I was, people might take offense to it, but that's what happened. I'm just stating a fact.
I really hope we don't lose our patrons over this.
No,
But
my
anyway,
God.
I think they know us by now.
Send us your emails if you
I
hated
was
what
being
we did with the
factual.
show, and definitely address them to Jack. rcadcast@gmail.com.
Gmail.
And
Gmail.com.
also, I wanted to point out, if you're ever wondering, like, I wonder if the guys are podcast, if the RCAD, the crew are podcasting tonight. Follow us on YouTube. Do us a favor. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube Ramblecast After Dark. Spell it out. Find us there, because then you'll get notified when an episode is coming up. Jack told me about this.
Spoiler,
and
it's usually Thursdays.
It's usually Thursdays. That's when we're.
But
usually...
like Matt's what Matt is saying, as soon as he posts the show,
you'll get.
If you're
subscribed,
subscribe and hit notification, the bell.
Yeah,
it'll tell you. Oh, they're recording this Thursday at 9:30, and they're going to be talking about
hit the notify.
You may not want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What happens in a brothel?
Stays in a brothel. Jack, thank you very much for bringing
that.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
Except the babies.
So please,
holy shit, it get worse.
Please keep listening to this.
I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm just saying that's what happens in a brothel. That's what happens.
It
was a flawless delivery, Matt. I'm sorry. Give credit where it's due.
Thank you. So low five, high five.
Fucking
anyway,
flawless.
Thanks for all the patrons that make this show possible. Specifically, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the plan, Ed the creepy letter kooky carrier, and as well Eckhart, Richter,
and the Catholic Church.
Yeah, wow.
I'm leaving them out of this, but if you want to see Enclave or Enclave, you can go see that. Enclave. There
I want to see that. I'd never heard of it, but I want to see
talked
it.
No,
about
I think you'll like it. It is a good film, and there's a lot of really good dialogue in it too, which you don't expect. Like you can tell, like someone really
Bazooka Joe
was well written. Yeah,
unlike this show. So
right.
This was a great show.
His gum?
Join us next week. Hopefully, we'll be back. And thanks.
And who knows? Maybe I'll be Attorney General.
Yay! I don't know. I sure you got my vote.
Our upcoming Attorney General has got the most punchable face
ever.